Hello everyone! I decided I was going to show you a brief glimpse of Goosebumps Horror Town. Now this is an app for Android phones, or really any phone nowadays. And yeah, they got the offers like this. I'll get into it in a moment. Gotta close down all this stuff. Okay, so I just got back after doing quite a number of things, so let me just get a few things here. I'll explain it, I swear, but I just gotta get all this stuff because there's a lot of things I was doing that... Come on! Well, I might as well get into this. This is a character you can unlock in this game. And yeah, it says collect them all because there's quite a few of them. Now, if I'm correct, she is a monster. And it's right here, this girl, Lucy. She is a normal human being. At least as normal as Goosebumps gets. And they live in this town that I'm unlocking as I go along. Yeah, let me just... Sorry, I was in the middle of stuff, and this is all sloppy, and I'm just collecting items that generate in this bizarre little world. Okay, so, yeah, this... Now that we're off to a terrible start, this entire town here is Horror Town. You build stuff like houses, different facilities like libraries, schools, trees, and a bunch of other things too. You can get more interesting items, like things that are already on the map but you need to level up in order to unlock, like this creepy old house, the old tavern, or the diner. And different buildings and different objects have different things that you use them for. Now, you've got some buildings are just the residence of different characters. Like, that's Dustin's house, the librarian, and lives in the library. And I'm trying to remember what his name... Yeah, Mr. Mortman is the librarian who eats bugs out of this dumpster. Yeah, that's him right there. Now, Lucy and Dunstan, let me see if I can... Yeah, that's Lucy. And that's Dunstan. Dustin! Wow. Words. They matter. Where's Sarah McLachlan to tell you that? Anyway, Lucy is a very investigative sort of person who wants to find out all the strange things that have been going on in this town. Dustin, he's a typical boy of this era. Never wants to do his homework, wants to buy toys, cause mischief, like shooting cans with a slingshot, or bothering hornets in a nest, because that's what you do in a town like this. And then there are other people, such as this guy. He owns a shop over here, the pawn shop. Yeah, he's where you go to sell certain items that you may obtain, which I might as well sell some of this stuff right here. Now, items are generated by different things, and they are used to continue different events. They will even be rewards for certain events or animations. Now, items could be anything from cockroaches to cans, newspapers. It could even be, well, really anything. And I'm sorry that this is kind of haphazard, but he sells things that other buildings and people generate, such as the toy store makes yo-yos, and the school supply store makes this kind of rainbow wallet with pencils sticking out of it. And there are other places where you can, like the pawn shop, go to sell stuff. Was the only place where I know to sell things. But places like the diner, you can craft very weird, gooey things. Like, yeah, roaches are a big selling point because apparently monsters love roaches. So you can get roaches from the dumpster over time and make different things with them, combine them with other objects to make more valuable things that you can either sell or use for missions. And it gets pretty disgusting, but Mr. Mortman just absolutely loves it. Now, Mr. Mortman is a monster, but he's trying to live his life as a normal person. But he's constantly getting tormented by the kids. Lucy is always sticking her nose in places where it doesn't belong. Dustin is always causing trouble, making noise, and that sort of thing. So, it's kind of regular suburban or just any kind of neighborhood life. But, unlike normal places, Horror Town has got secrets, like Mr. Mortman's a monster who's trying to stay in human form so he can just live a normal life, but Lucy and Dustin are too nosy for their own good. In fact, they happen to cross this crash site where a military truck transporting a mummy had careened off the road. Now, I'll get to this in a moment. So I've talked a bit about that stuff. Now, you can build different buildings, different objects, and place them down. And even though some buildings generate stuff like Goosebumps coins, which you can use to buy things if you need them, like other buildings and stuff. And there's also cash over here, which you have to buy or earn through missions in order to get, and that's for really unique stuff. Now this goo here, which I suppose is monster blood, or just whatever happens when Mr. Morton goes to take a kid-friendly. When he goes to take a number 2, you collect his number 2 to level up. We'll just say it's monster blood. I don't want to refer to it as poop. And as you level up, you gain new things that you can build. Like, as I leveled up, I was able to unlock things like the toy store, the beauty salon, the school supply store, but you also unlock more area. Like, you see, I'm not level 7 yet, but when I am, I can unlock this. I just unlocked this area, and once you unlock something, you click on it and either buy it or it will just automatically start generating, but it takes time to open up these areas, so you gotta wait. So it is one of those games where you have to wait for certain things to happen, but I don't mind because I got a busy lifestyle and I can't just spend all my time on a game all day. Oh, excuse me. Now, I know this isn't a really great way of getting introduced to the game, but like I said, there are monsters, and I don't know... Who is this woman? Oh yeah, Mrs. Dark. Okay. I'll get back to Slappy in a moment. Oh, I haven't... Oh, dang it. Yeah, Curly is actually our kind of tour guide of Horror Town. He was the first person who greeted you when you came down here. I just love his look, by the way. I would love to have a costume for him. But yeah, he tells you what's going on and what sort of things you should be doing. Mostly scaring the pants off of normal people, even monsters disguised as normal people, in order to get fright. Once you get fright, you can unlock certain rewards. But I'll get to that in a moment. Let's see what he has to say. Mrs. Marg is a respectable teacher who does her best to teach human children, or teach the human children. Frankly, I don't know where she gets the patience to deal with those detestable creatures. Sorry. Tomatoes, lettuce, cabbage, apples, cockroaches, broccoli, and some spices. That should be enough to prepare a nice dinner tonight. Yeah, apparently there's a thing in Goosebumps where every monster loves bugs. I'll go with it. Or at least in this game they do. Yeah. Oh, build a grocery store, obtain canned roaches. Yeah, this is one of the other things. Certain characters will need you to do certain things for them. And as you can see, Creature Teacher 3, 1 of 5. Creature Teacher, I believe, is actually the name of a book, and you play through missions that are related to certain things that happened in the book. Now, as far as 3 goes, I can't remember if this is just the third unlocked mission, or if there was a third book to this, but I think it's a third unlocked mission, because first was Mr. Mortman, and then was Mrs. Dark. And I will get to Mrs. Dark later. She moved in. She's trying to find out if it's a nice neighborhood for her kids to live in, but they're studying abroad. So she's checking things out. And she's not too happy about... Oh, I might as well get into it. Anyway, you go through here. You get things like build the grocery store and obtain canned roaches, which, as you saw before, can be obtained in the diner. Not too difficult. You get roaches from the dumpster. Or from missions, like I will complete this mission for Mrs. Marg. Or Marg. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it. You get stuff from missions, or they are generated over time from different buildings and things that you build here. There's a cat. I wonder if I can scare the cat. Things to explore later. Sorry, I'm always getting off topic, always getting distracted. God help me if there's a penny rolling down the street. I will never be able to stop looking at that thing. Anyway, there are certain missions related to books. There are a series of missions, like you saw, 1 of 5 for Mrs. Marg. Whatever. I'll call her Mrs. Marg. Or Marg. Anyway, there's missions for her, and there's 1 of 5, so once you complete all 5, you complete that, and I cannot remember, I know you get rewards for that, and Curly comes out to give you a congratulatory set of words. His commentary is actually kind of nice, I like it. Slappy will sometimes pop in and out just to put in his 2 cents, and it's usually to cause trouble, so complete missions, get stuff, so that you complete more missions, craft different things so that people can do more interesting stuff, and eventually just scare the mess out of people. So, now then, I'm not really good at explaining this, and it looks like we got a different character available now, and this is where I scroll through to find out what characters I have available, including Slappy. Huh? Oh, I completed something for Slappy, and now he's got another mission that I'm going to have to take care of later. Now, Slappy is not someone that you can easily unlock. Let's go here a moment. This is where you buy stuff. This is the market to get things that you can build. Now, I bought an expansion pack. Well, not exactly an expansion pack, but like a stimulus pack. To find out what that is, you just go up to like buy now and see what kind of stuff they have available. I got the starter pack that was 80% off. I got a number of different things. I don't think I'll be buying this one, but I was able to get Slappy's house, which generates money and monster blood. I was also able to... I'm trying to remember, what exactly did that give me? It gave me Slappy's house, the gnome's garden. I can't remember how I unlocked that. I think that was just something that I got with missions. I don't think I got anyone really new, but it's hard to remember everything. But I got a few things that would normally be attained just with Goosebumps currency. What is this called, anyway? Do they say? Bank, 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 bank. Okay, it's just dollars, so it's just money. Ah, promos. Uncle Satyr is pack. Yeah, Uncle... Is it Sat... No, it's Satyrs. Oh, is he actually a... Oh my god. Is he actually a satyr? Or is he a human? It could just be his name. I don't know. Anyway, get another cockroach. Can use that. Can use the can and the newspaper. Anyway, I bought the pack. Got a few dollars that I used to unlock different things. I think I used that to get the gnomes. And you know what? Just because I want to have some fun, you can assign gnomes to go out and scare people. Now, let's go a little crazy here, because I want to have some fun and demonstrate some stuff. So we're going to unlock all of the gnomes. Now, they are going to go out in a huge swarm and scare people, and this is probably the best part of the game. Look at them go. And they're going to go through and scare the pants off of people. And there they go. And the more fear I generate, the higher this gauge gets, which will get me certain rewards. Oh, yeah. Look at him run! And when they're done scaring people, you get rewards. Now, of course, you get fear from... Yeah. Of course, you get fear from the individuals who get scared, but you also generate a set amount of fear from the monsters you let loose. You get that, and a chance of getting a bonus item. Here, I reached a scarometer milestone. The scarometer measures how much fear there has been generated in the town. Now, every day, well, every time cycle, the gauge is reset. Right now, I need to get 130 scary faces, which means people are basically to the point where they're about to pee their pants when you get it to this level. It always starts off at happy, and then as you generate fear, the gauge goes up, 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 and you get certain things. This generates money for me that I can use to buy other things. And of course there's some things that I can do to help get even more stuff. But this is a way of just having fun with Goosebumps monsters, going around scaring the mess out of people and getting rewarded for it. And I kind of like that, because it's like a little bonus thing you can do, but it's not a bonus, it's actually a major part of this. Because scaring people not only gets you stuff, but it's kind of a part of the story, because Lucy and Dustin are encountering these creatures like the mummy, which, don't think I've forgotten about him. I can spawn, and with a 70% chance of getting a scarab, which is one of the items I need to expand my inventory, which is about at max. Ow! You have a set inventory of things that you can get. So you can't get more than that. If you do, you either got to get rid of stuff, or you have to sell things. Now, unfortunately, the mummy, though he's going around scaring people, has already got as much as he can. So I can only collect the amount of fear he has generated. Anyone else that gets spooked, they're not going to generate any scary faces, but still, love watching them run like that. And the funny thing is, even some of the monsters will run because they're in human form, so they have to be scared. If they're not scared, it looks kind of weird. Yeah, and here's that inventory issue I was talking about. I gotta get some stuff in order to make more room for all of these things. Is that mummy still going? Oh, it's because I don't have... Because I don't have enough room in my inventory, he's still gonna go around scaring people until I collect the reward. So, this is where we go to sell certain things. Yeah, sorry about that noise in the background, but that's gonna keep happening. Yeah, let's sell a yo-yo, let's sell that. Is that a snowball? That's a snowball. Okay. And let's sell a pipe for now, because I can get another one later. Free up some space. Magnifying glass. I want to keep the compact, as that's going to be needed for something I was doing. I was doing something yesterday, and I didn't have the compact, so I couldn't complete the mission. Unfortunately, the clicking mechanic is kind of difficult, because you can see I'm clearly at the treehouse, but it's going off the terrain. So if I mouse over to the area where the treehouse is sitting, of course I'll get the treehouse. And here I can craft the fingerprint registry, which I need, but oh, I sold a file, didn't I? Well, let me see if I can. Gotta be careful with the scroll wheel. You don't wanna. Trying to go up so that I can. Okay, I can make a file and a tin can telephone. Generating items like this not only gets you items that are more valuable, but it helps free up space in your inventory. So it's kind of a case of you've got all this runoff that you generate naturally, so put it to good use and make some money off of it. It's nice that way. And I can even take items that I craft and turn them into more valuable things. Hello. Yeah. It doesn't save that much inventory, but it is useful nonetheless. Okay, now let's see that fingerprint thing. And certain items are going to require more items than others. So crafting this is more advanced than... Yeah, the fingerprint registry requires more items than an investigation file. In fact, you need investigation files to craft evidence records. And evidence records go into fingerprint registries. So you can get some really important stuff generated here. Now it's about to kick me out because I just made the tin can telephone. Words, they are hard. Let me take a drink of this Crystal Pepsi since we're going nostalgic today. But yeah, you generate more and more valuable items to create more and more valuable items that can be used in the story later. And it's done in the... Oh, I gotta be careful. Generating a lot of stuff. Certain items are needed for certain missions, so you gotta get, like, Mrs. Marg has gotta get her canned roaches, and since that spares me some inventory space, sure. And I'll even make a roaches snack that I can put into Roaches to Go. And Roaches to Go is a fairly quick way of making some nice money. Interesting that I would say that, but it is what it is, so... Oh, I don't have a grocery store, do I? I was just thinking about the... Okay, well... Okay, I gotta find out what this is. Fortune teller. Okay, I haven't seen this before. Guaranteed reward. A divine with absolute nonsense. Abracadabra, alakazam. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I'll spare you that one. Okay, it's still saying that because there's got that available, you can still get stuff. Okay, fine. Yeah, I could sell stuff that is taking up a lot of space, and I can get some really good money generated from that stuff. But here's the thing. If it's not something you have available or want to sell, you gotta go through and refresh this stuff because he generates deals randomly. So you're not just going to be going in there and selling stuff that you just have on hand. It's whatever he's interested in at the time, at the price he's interested in paying for it. Now you'll notice I'm about to level up, so that's going to be nice. Okay, that's done. That's done. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of them because I know some people are probably going to get triggered that I am mispronouncing someone's name. Good God, that man's unibrow. It is trying so hard not to be one, but it is so clearly a unibrow. Agatha. Ah. Yeah, I'll just call her Agatha. It's easier for me. Yeah. Oh! Did it? Yeah! Yeah, this is what happens when you level up. You get new items that you can buy. And, yeah, Carl's leftover stand, that's going to generate... Ooh, but I need some dollars for that. And the thing is, you don't generate dollars nearly as fast as you do coins. But I can get the arcade. I can get some other stuff. Ooh. Nice. Some of this stuff is purely aesthetic, but other items are used in specific missions. So, okay, this stuff's cool. So, let me explain that. Okay, how do I... Oh, yeah, alright, sorry. So, there are certain places, like I mentioned before, that generate stuff. Like, I've got a newspaper stand that generates newspapers. Dumpster generates cockroaches. Other places you have to craft things to get them. But then there are items like this tree, this ash tree, which doesn't generate anything, but it is required for Dustin. Because Dustin has... Yeah, he's a real troublemaker. Just look at some of this stuff. Be the best at skateboarding, shoot cans with a slingshot, fly a paper combat air jet, burn ants from outer space, which basically means take a magnifying glass and burn ants. But actually, it's not showing it anymore. That's interesting. There was an option here for go pester the hornets, and it requires an ash tree for him to go over, and a hornet's nest will appear. And he can knock at it with a stick, and he'll do that for a given amount of time. Once he's done that for long enough, you get the reward for that. But when he was doing it, it was actually something that Slappy, the mischief maker that he is, was encouraging him to do. And he's got his... Okay. Just because I love the Saw franchise, that's awesome. He was encouraging Dustin to go knock the hornets around, and it was bothering Eugene, or Mr. Mortman, as he calls himself, because, well, he, one, likes bugs, and two, doesn't like Dustin. And Slappy was encouraging him, saying, maybe you should do something about that rotten kid bothering those poor innocent hornets. And Eugene's just telling him, no, Slappy, I know what you're trying to do. I'm not going to play your game. And it's just stuff like that. I like how they interact with each other. And games like this are really cool for the simple fact that... Sorry, gotta make more stuff. For the simple fact that you can get, if it's well made, you can get characters that normally wouldn't interact with one another, talking, conversing, all that great stuff. Did I make this already? Yeah, let's just craft another one, if I haven't. Ooh, cardboard periscope. Well, I know that's going to come in handy, so... Okay, there's... Yeah, like I was saying, I like having people interact that normally wouldn't. And it's all in text box, but I still appreciate it. In other games, when it's more 3D, they would have complete models and maybe even voice actors that have to go through this. But because this is a simplified game, in that it doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff that is going to require all that extra stuff, they can just go right into story and not have to bother with certain things. Like the 3D modeling, getting the animation down, getting people in to do voice acting. They just write these conversations down and then put them in a text box. That's pretty much... Well, it's most of it. I know there's more, because I have actually tried to make a game myself. But yeah, I've leveled up. Now I've got new people that I could talk to, new options available. And I like these new options because it means there's going to be more interaction that I do really like. Now let's look here. Theo Gordon. Or Coco's Clown Academy. That's the thing. I want to get some of these more premium things, but I just don't have the money to spend on this extra stuff. Let's get Marty out here somewhere. Let's see. Can I get him right there? Yep, I can. I know some of the buildings are kind of crowded, but I've got very few places to really put some of this stuff, so I'm making the most of what I've got. Now then, I always get sidetracked, but this is dark. What I'm basically doing here, and I was, well, you know what I'm doing here. I'm getting items, crafting items, and filling up my inventory so much that I have nothing left. Okay, so I got enough scarabs, but I'm going to need something to generate that gin. So, oh, I remember there was a place I could build. Oh, that's why I didn't put up a beauty shop. Because I could really use those compacts. For the kids. For the kids, of course. Don't judge me. Okay, dang it. It's probably under the more spooky options, but you can see a whole bunch of stuff that you can make here and put down. And I'm sure there's a lot of references to other stories that R.L. Stine has done. And unfortunately, and I kick myself now that I'm an adult about this whole thing. I did not read the Goosebumps books. I watched the TV series, but I never read the books. And I honestly am upset with myself about that because I look at all this cool stuff that I could have read and I didn't. And it really bothers me that I didn't take the time, just sit down and read a few books. Things you regret when you're an adult. Okay, now where is this thing? Okay, I gotta go to Mr. Sayers. There's a mission for him. Get a sorrow choker. And how do I do that? Oh! Okay. I thought I had to build the tavern. No, that... Okay. Now I get it. So, you get monsters that are living in the town. Looks like... I know that this is Eugene Mortman. I think this is Agatha? I think? And maybe this is Mrs. Dark, or that's somebody else. I send them out, and I get a certain chance of getting that flask, but I need Slappy to get the most out of this, and I can't just watch an ad. Ah, shoot. Bite the bullet. But before I go out and do a whole bunch of stuff like that, I need to check my inventory, clean that out a bit, because I'm just generating so much stuff. And I know I'm collecting a lot, but there's a reason for that. All of these things are valuable in their own way. So, craft. Craft that too. Where do I get this? Okay. Eugene. Gotta go to him. So yeah, generating this stuff keeps my inventory space lower, makes me happy, makes things easy. Now, I think I've got a can of bugs, so... Oh yeah, that mission was already taken care of, so... Alright, so let's have some fun. No, let's leave the inventory space as it is. Now, what is it going to take to I can assign him for free because I bought with dollars and that pack. I got Slappy, and Slappy's house is over here. I also put some other things like the skull flowers, which I wouldn't mind having those out in my front lawn. My front lawn. Why is it so hard to use words today? Okay, yeah, I'm generating stuff there. Good, good, good. Because I got Slappy's house, I got Slappy. So, we're gonna just assign everybody. And now, mayhem. Look at Slappy. Look at him go. Oh, this is too much fun. Gotta wait for them to be finished. Yeah, that looks like Agatha right there. Okay. Just had to sneak in a little bit of double entendre on that. Subtly, but still. Wow, look how much that shot up my scare meter. Yeah, it's just something about having monsters run around in a town of your own design. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, this is Goosebumps Horror Town. You can play it on your phone. You can play it on an emulator like I am on BlueStacks. And just enjoy it for the nostalgia, or for those of us who sadly didn't read the books and are kind of disappointed in ourselves that we didn't, you can at least find a new appreciation for it. And I'm even listening to an audiobook for, I can't remember what the name of it is, but I remember the television episode about this kid going to camp and everything's off about it. It's more dangerous than it should be. And I'm listening to the audiobook, which someone has done a fantastic job with that, with multiple voice actors, music, and it's a little difficult at times because they go through the description so quickly, but with all the sound effects and effort that went into this, it feels like a good fusion between the book and the television episode, so I appreciate that. And I honestly don't have a lot of time for reading books. I spend a lot of time, several hours during the night, driving around in a van, and the rest of the time is studying at school or doing other projects that I've got. So I like being able to stack things up, like do the van driving and the audiobook. It's really nice, keeps me focused, helps the time pass by when you're really bored. And doing games like this that relax me and get a video out, I love it. But this is how it is nowadays. It's a world where everything is going by very quickly, and it's difficult to get anything done. Okay. Yeah, I got the fingerprint registry taken care of. Oh, Creature Teacher 2. So it wasn't just the third mission. There's actually... Okay, there must have been different sets of missions going on regarded to that particular person. Agatha, I think. Yeah. So let's look at this. So yeah, with regard to that, there's a gazebo right here that Lucy went over. She was looking for evidence that there might be monsters in the town, more than the evidence she had of the gnomes that are alive or the mummy in that downed vehicle. And she found this very unusual enlarged fingerprint. Had she had Dustin take a fingerprint like they would at CSI, and now they're gonna do stuff with it. Maybe just keep it on record. But the treehouse, which is actually one of the most important locations here, is where Lucy and Dustin do all of their investigations. But it's also very important for keeping your inventory space managed. So I appreciate that. So I'm going to do a little more here. Hope you all enjoyed this little tour of Horror Town. If you want to get some more of Horror Town, just let me know. I'm always looking for new games to try, and maybe I'll try a few other games for Android devices, horror related, see how good or bad they are. For me, I think this is a great one. It gives you the feel of horror without it just being really dark corridors, jump scares, or all of that nonsensical BS that we've been dealing with for so long that everybody hates, where people are putting no effort into anything that they do and expecting you just to enjoy it. This, however, has a lot of effort put into it. I would love to find out if there's a way of zooming in. Maybe in the... Is there... There's no zoom option here, but I'd love to see all the detail of this, even if it's a little blurry. I love being able to zoom in and see all of the detail of all the work that people put into things like this. And I feel that there's been an outstanding amount of time devoted to this game. It looks great. It's fun. I'm really enjoying it. Now, of course, there are more active titles, I should say, ones with a bit more energy to them, but this is nice. It's relaxing. And I think, if I remember correctly, R.L. Stine put it best. He was talking about his critics, and he said, there are certain writers who write books like wine. I write books like water. A few people can try wine, and even fewer people can truly enjoy it. Everybody can drink water, and everybody can enjoy and appreciate water. And I think that holds true for what I've seen from the series, what I've heard from the books and people talking about it, is he really makes something that everybody can just get engaged with. And this game is doing that. I thought at first I'd be bored by it, but I like these stories that are popping up. At first I thought for sure I was going to be very bored because it was just going to be all this generating stuff and not really accomplishing anything. But I like the overarching story going on here. Having the old tavern being a meeting place for these monsters. Having Mr. Mortman doing his thing of getting bugs and being harassed by Mrs. Dark. Having the kids do their investigations. Have Slappy either antagonize or instigate different things throughout the town. And just soaking up all of this great stuff. At first I wasn't sure about it, but honestly, I'm okay with a game that generates cockroaches and has you level up with goo. I'm okay with a kid who uses a slingshot to shoot cans off of a dumpster, or a little girl who spends most of her time in books and investigating the happenings in her town. I grew up in a small, quiet town that was kind of boring, and this is the kind of stuff that I would have done. So it really does bring me back to a simpler time. It's enjoyable. You can appreciate it. It's kid-friendly, adult-friendly, and enjoyable for both. Plus, I really like sending out the monsters to scare everybody. It's something I didn't do enough as a kid, was scare people, but then again, if I probably started, I would never stop. So, hope you all enjoyed this. If you really like the game, like I said, if you've got an Android phone, which is pretty much every phone that isn't plugged into a wall, you can get this game, or you can go online, get BlueStacks, and it's a free emulator. The game is free. You can play it on your PC, play it on your phone, and just have a good time. And there are a ton of free games that you can emulate or put on your phone. And honestly, I got a lot of content I can make from this, and if you're enjoying it, please, I need you to leave a comment and like the video, subscribe for more. I will do reviews eventually, but now I just need some time away from the grind, because I don't get a lot of people watching my videos, and this is something that I enjoy completely, that I hope you could enjoy as well. So have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one.